Last night, my wife and I slipped into a disagreement that at first seemed small, but it carried more weight than either of us expected. She had been excited for days about a get-together her friends had planned, eager to be part of it. I, however, felt uneasy. It wasn't about trying to restrict her or control her choices. Something in my gut just told me this night wasn't right. I voiced my feelings calmly but firmly. She brushed them aside, accusing me of being overly protective. Without much more discussion, she dressed up, grabbed her things, and left. The house felt painfully quiet once she was gone. I sat in the living room, watching the clock hands crawl forward, each second dragging out my worry. My mind kept circling the same question. What was so important about this gathering that she could so easily dismiss my concerns? Still, I refused to text or call. I let the silence grow heavy around me, disappointment settling deeper than words could express. When she finally returned close to 2 a.m., the air shifted. Her laughter from the car lingered faintly in the driveway. The scent of alcohol mixed with perfume followed her inside. She looked carefree, almost glowing from the night out, while I sat still, unspeaking. She noticed my quietness, but instead of addressing it, she slipped into bed without a word. I lay awake for hours, my thoughts turning over and over. I felt ignored, undervalued, like my voice didn't matter in the relationship we had promised to protect. By morning, I half expected her to act as though nothing had happened. But to my surprise, she was already up cooking breakfast. I watched from the table as she moved around the kitchen, quieter than usual, something softer in her posture. When she finally sat down, she couldn't meet my eyes. Then, in a voice low and unsteady, she admitted she had been selfish. She told me the night hadn't felt as wonderful as she had expected. Even surrounded by music, friends, and laughter, she said a hollow feeling followed her. The guilt of disregarding me stayed with her all evening. I listened in silence, allowing her to share every word without interruption. She apologized, not only for leaving, but for making me feel unheard in our marriage. There was sincerity in her voice, a rare vulnerability that told me she truly understood. Still, I reminded her that apologies weren't enough. Respect, I said, must show in choices, not just words. Marriage meant valuing one another, even when we disagreed. Her eyes filled with tears as she nodded, promising to place our partnership above fleeting impulses. That morning, as we shared breakfast, something shifted. It wasn't complete forgiveness, not yet, but it was a beginning. She had finally grasped that my silence hadn't been anger. It was hurt. Disappointment runs deeper than rage. In the days that followed, I saw changes in her. She included me in her plans, asked for my input, and showed me she wanted us to walk side by side in every decision. It was never about controlling her. It was about finding balance and respect. Looking back, that night could have easily driven us apart. Instead, it became the moment we both realized what our marriage needed most: mutual respect and communication. Her apology was genuine, and my willingness to listen without exploding gave her space to reflect. For the first time, she saw that marriage isn't about winning arguments, but about honoring each other's feelings. We chose understanding over pride, reconciliation over resentment, and from that choice, our bond grew stronger than before.